see you again. Sorry for the long hiatus that I took. I don't know about you guys, but the last 2 months have just been taken over by the holidays. So I'm glad to be back and doing some videos. Today I've got for you this look here for New Year's Eve. It's just a purple cut crease look. Something a little different instead of the normal glittery type look that most people tend to do. So if you're interested in this look at all and how I put it together, then keep on watching. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to be using my ride or die at the moment, this Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I've been wearing this every day for the last few months just because it's so easy and it lasts all day, it doesn't cake up, it's just fantastic. So, just be putting that all over my face. I'm just using the Real Technique stippling brush for this. Any brush or sponge would do. I don't think it's really, it doesn't seem to be particular about how you apply it. Just a little quick tip here as well, that if you find that you have rather large pores, even though this foundation is really good at covering those up, if you get your brush and just do circles in one way and then the other way, it'll help fill up those pores, which that sounds bad, but it'll actually just disguise them because it won't be like these gaps that appear from the foundation being over the top. Sometimes just dabbing isn't enough, so if you swirl in one way and then swirl in the other, it'll cover them up a lot better. Okay, so straight onto concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. By the way, the foundation I used was in 110 as well, forgot to mention that. So straight onto this, I think this is in 110 as well, it doesn't really give me a name. But I remember when I bought it, it was 110 to match the foundation. So just pop that on. Inner corners. This stuff is just so good at covering my dark circles. Like nothing before has been able to really cover up the pigment. So once I put that on straight, I just go in with a concealer brush and then just dab that in. I'm not really blending it as such, I'm just pushing it into the skin so that it stays and it kind of adheres to where it needs to be. And so to set the under eye foundation, what I use is, I think I've said this in a previous video, but I use just a little white eyeshadow. It's nearly run out actually. It's just this one down here. And it's just like a yellow based white eyeshadow that's really finely milled. And I just get a small brush like this, dab it in, and then just lightly put it under my eyes. It's not the best solution, but it's all I've got right now, and hey, makeup is whatever you want to use it for, so I like to get creative. Right, now so to set my whole face, I'm just going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder. Been using this for years, I absolutely love it. Just getting this big powdery brush here, swirl it around, and just lightly dust it all over. Luckily with the Matte and Poreless foundation is quite matte to start with. Well, not mattifying, but you won't need to use as much powder because it does quite a lot on its own. But this is just to set the foundation essentially. Right, so next I'm going to go on to brows. I've actually run out of all my brow products at the moment, so what I have been using, another little makeshift solution by me, is this light brown colour. It's just a bit darker than my natural hair colour. I've just been going in with a brow brush, like an angled brush like this, Just going into that light brown colour. It's just a regular shadow, and then just filling in my brows with that. I'm not really going to go overboard with shaping them today, it's more just making them more visible and more defined, just because my eyebrows are quite blonde naturally, so they pretty much disappear if I've got no product in them at all. So this is just to make them visible. I actually prefer to use pencils. I have enjoyed getting used to using a shadow instead. It is a bit different, but I just like the precision you get with a pencil. Although I'm yet to use like a wax product, so we'll see how that goes in the new year when I give that a go. Okay, so now onto the fun part, we'll do the eyeshadow. Just going to start with a primer. It's really important to use a primer when you're doing really bold looks or things that are going to have to last for quite a while, just because it makes the colours stand out a bit better and it makes it last longer as well. So I'm just going to use this Lorac, whatever it is, behind the scenes eye primer. This just came with my Lorac Pro palette when I bought it. So I'll just pop that all over my lid. It's really, really smooth in texture, and I found it really does make a difference to how the shadows apply and also how they look. You could even just use any eyeshadow base if you'd prefer, like a paint pot from MAC, or even like the Maybelline Eye Studio, what are they called? The tattoo bases, they're really good as well. Okay, so to start off, I'm actually gonna go in with the transition color. So I'm gonna use a light pink for that. The one I'm gonna use is from the Lorac Pro 2 palette called Nectar. I use this on the daily, I absolutely love it. I'll just show you. Got a bit of a mess going on here, but it's just this one right here. You could use Cupcake by Makeup Geek. I'm not really familiar with MAC shadows, but I'm sure they've got one just the same as well. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, get some of that Nectar colour, and just put it all over that transition area, just to prepare it for when we put in colours later. Now that's done, I'm going to go straight in with the really dark purple colour before I go onto my lid. So we'll get a pencil brush, if I can find it. I've just got this pencil brush here. And again with the Lorac Pro 2 palette, going to use Plum, just this really deep purple colour here. And I'm just going to very lightly dip it on the tip of the pencil brush. And then just really, with a really light hand, just start dusting it into where I want it to go on the lid. So I'm going above my crease and just drawing a line there. The key with doing these kind of looks as well is just to take your time and be really gentle. Don't go in all ham and just shove it everywhere. You just want to lightly dust it and blend it out. So once that colour starts looking alright, I'll start fanning it out on the edge. So it's got like a wing. I might just get some more of that purple and start deepening up that colour. So now we're just going with the other eye. Same thing. So I'll be blending out that later. For now I'm just putting the colour on and we'll do all the blending at the end. So next I'm going to start putting some colours on the lid itself. So now I'm going to use my Makeup Geek shadows. So the colours I'm going to use today on the lid, still kind of undecided actually, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is all over the lid I'm going to use Daydreamer, which is this foiled eyeshadow right here. And then in the inner corner I'm going to use this one. This is Rockstar. This is one of their new duochrome eyeshadows, and so that even though this looks white to look at, when it's on your eye it has like pink and purple reflex. It tends to reflect whatever's around it as well. So I'll put that on the inner corner and that all over the lid and we'll see how that goes. So I'll just get a dense packing brush like this one here. And we'll start with that Daydream purple colour, this one here. As always, start with a little bit of colour if you're unsure and then just work your way up. So I'm just doing the outer 2/3 of that lid. And then also just winging out the edge so that it comes underneath that crease that we've already put in. Beautiful. To make that a bit more intense, I'm just going to put a little bit more colour on. Awesome. Let's go with the other side. So now I'm going to go in with the inner corner and go in with that Rockstar colour. So that's the one that's duochrome, looks like white but reflects pink and purple. So we'll just go in with that. And you're just blending it into the purple that's already there. So now to do a little bit of blending, we'll get a fluffy brush we haven't used yet and just go all over in little circles, particularly over that cut crease, just to kind of blend it out the edges just ever so slightly. You don't want to get rid of the cut crease sharpness, but just to make it look a bit cleaner. I actually think the purple needs a bit of, I don't know, defining, so I'm just going to go back in again with my pencil brush wherever it's gone. Ah, there it is. No, I've lost it. Ah, found it. So back in with that deep purple that we used from the Lorac palette. So now I'm just going to finish the rest of my face. So now I'm just going to take that purple colour again, the plum, but I'm just going to shade under along the lash line, just for some continuity of the colour. I'm just going to put some mascara on. I'm not going to bother with lashes today, although by all means go for it. It's New Year's Eve. Go all glam. So I'm just going to use the Laura Geller I don't know if you can see that, Laura Geller Glam Lash mascara. This is really nice. It's really smooth, really black, which is really good for dramatic looks like this one. I'm just going to use this angled blush brush, and I think I'm just going to go with this one by Makeup Geek. It's called Secret Admirer, I'm pretty sure. It looks really crazy purple in the pan, but it's actually just like a nice healthy pink on the cheek. Give that a go to complement the eyes a little bit. Gorgeous, darling. The other side. Blend, 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 blend. So because I've got so much drama happening up here, I'm going to keep the lips really simple. And I'm going to use Blankety by MAC. It's just like a nice pinky nude shade. I absolutely adore this. So we'll just pop that on straight. So that's it. That's my purple cut crease eye for New Year's Eve. Hopefully it inspired you for what you're going to do tomorrow night. Really good if you've got hooded lids, but also amazing if you don't. Something just a little different instead of the classic gold glitter that everyone tends to do. That's it from me. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.